the second thing that contains your prophecy is diabolism and occultism. Diabolism and occultism. I had a friend in the year 1998, 1999. I stumbled into a message which was called the grace message, and it was called the Christocentric message. It was a message that focuses more on the finished work of Christ, which is very correct. Focuses more on our redemption as believers, which is very correct. But it underplayed responsibility. It underplayed, it downplayed the believer's responsibility in appropriating his inheritance in Christ. So most of those who are preaching now are preaching what I preached years ago and dropped. Okay, so I was preaching that thing year 99, 2000. And we are preaching. In fact, when I walk into places then, where what happened to me again was that I had lost my father in the Lord, Archbishop Benson in Dahosa. So there was nobody really to guide us. So I was just preaching. I stumbled to that message. It was like a consolation, to the demise of my father in the Lord. So I was preaching that message. I mean, we'll tell you clearly that there's nothing like heaven. There's nothing like heavenly realm. This is the heaven. We are already seated in heavenly places. We don't cast out demons. They are under us. They don't exist. Witchcraft doesn't exist. We said all kinds of things. But I had a friend. His name was Timothy. Timothy would take the Bible and he would bisect it. Whatever you think you know about warfare, he will bisect it. But there was a problem. Timothy's father died at a particular age. In his 30s, early 30s. Timothy was 32 when I met him. And I'm telling you, 1999. And he believed that message. He would sit down with me. He would study. He would show me things. The next year, he was to be 33. So I told him, I said, I'm worried. He said, why are you worried? I said, your father died at 33. Your uncle, 33. Most of the males in your family, 33. And you'll be 33 in a few months. He said, I should forget about it. That once you are in Christ, you are a new creature. That nothing will happen. I said, okay. Timothy and I traveled for a program. I ministered, then he came, he rounded up. The night to enter his birthday, he went to his room, he slept. I went to my room, I slept. Some minutes to 10 in the morning, we were worried because we were dressed, he wasn't coming out. We hit the door, and we broke the door open. He was dead. He was dead. I said, something is wrong. I sat back, I began to reevaluate my message. I began to reevaluate what I believed until I discovered that even if Christ has paid the price, it is my responsibility to appropriate what has been done for me. God has given you. He's not in heaven. God has given you, but it's your responsibility to take it. Heaven has released it, but it's your responsibility to collect it. Manna will always fall, but it's your responsibility to go outside and pick it. Judges chapter 12 and verse 3. When I saw that you were not willing to help me, I took my life in my hand. So I said, okay, so this is what is missing in this message. This is what is incomplete. The message of grace, the message of Christocentrism is not incorrect, but is incomplete. And I began to appropriate that message. I began to appropriate. I understood. Are you aware? The first time when I saw the delay that was experienced by God's people in the land of Egypt, I was thinking it was a product of executive or legislative or judicial rascality. Until I looked very well and discovered the reason they were not released on time was because they were magicians by Pharaoh. They were diabolic men by Pharaoh. Moses dropped his rod. It became a serpent. They dropped their own rod, it became a snake. But I thank God the rod of Moses went backward and swallowed the seventh rod, and it did not become fatter, it did not increase its size. Moses touched it, it was the same size. He summarized them to zero. He turned them to vanity. Am I talking to somebody here? I began to see occultic practices. In Luke chapter 7 verse 32, he said, what shall I liken the men of this generation? He said, they are like children, men, but they are like children. They are disguised. And they said, we have piped to you, you have not danced. We have mourned to you, you have not wept. So anytime you see somebody dancing, it means in the secret somebody is piping. When you see somebody mourning, in the spirit somebody is weeping. When you see somebody going through certain battles in life, in the spirit it is engineered and orchestrated. You must understand something, that once spirits are involved, manual activity is a waste. Once spirits are involved, manual engagement is futile. Once spirits are involved, you labor like an elephant but eat like an ant. He said, when the spirit of the ruler rises up against you, leave not your place. Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 4. For yielding pacifieth great offense. I am talking about diabolism. I'm talking about occultism. A young boy by the name of David, he saw everyone afraid of Goliath, but he knew that this battle was a spiritual battle. Every physical weapon was only an additional assistant. So when he came, he saw Goliath. David knew the code. The Bible says, and Goliath cursed David in the name of his God. And David replied, that is when the battle was won. David replied, in the name of the Lord. And Saul said, can you fight this man? He said, yes. God said, before you go ahead, let me tell you about this man. He said, I will give you the curriculum vitae. I will give you the credentials and the CV of Goliath. Number one, Goliath has been a warrior from his youth. Number two, Goliath has never lost any battle. Number three, his spear is bigger than you in size. Number four, David said, hold on. You didn't tell me you want CV. Let me give you CV. Number one, there was a time I kept my father's flocks. A lion came. I tore it with my hand. Number two, there was a time I kept my father's flock. A bear came. I tore it with my hand. Number three, the God that delivered me from the lion and the bear, that same God will deliver me from the hand of Goliath. Every diabolic activity, every occultic power fighting the prophecy of your family, the prophecy on your head, the prophecy on your children, I see that power shattered. I see that power shattered. I see that power shattered. You don't serve a dead God, you serve a mighty God. He's the same yesterday, he's the same today. When God says yes, no man can say no. When God lifts you up, no man can bring you down. God is on your side. Power is on your side. Glory is on your side. Somebody shout fire, fire, fire.